I am super excited to share with you our very special guest today, Robin Fox. And Robin is a social emotional learning educator, a professional improv actor, and a curriculum creator. So many amazing things. So I would love for you to share a little bit about you and kind of how you went from educator to improv to entrepreneur.
All very good questions. I was finishing my last few years of teaching. I was a public school special education teacher for 37 years. And at the end of my career, I was working with a group of high school kids, and I was delivering a social emotional learning curriculum. And it was like digging into the areas that were so hard for them. My heart hurt because, they just were having trouble sitting still and being flexible and making eye contact. And I just, one day, decided that we would do an improv warm-up just because they deserved it and I knew it would be fun. So I played a simple game called Pass the Clap, where you have to turn to the person next to you and clap at the same time. And then they turn to the person next to them and clap at the same time. And it goes around the circle. And when we finished, my I don't like playing and I don't want to be in this group kids said, we want more. And then it hit me like a snowball in summer that this is teaching the very things that I am charged with having them learn, but they were enjoying it. It taught them flexibility. It taught them how to make a plan with somebody else, to be aware socially of what's going on, and to make eye contact and see what was happening with the other person. So that's where it started, and it ended up with a full curriculum that combines improv, mindfulness, and cognitive behavioral therapy.
Awesome. So we were going to kind of talk a little bit about each of those three pieces with also an activity that you've created that can kind of focus on the mindfulness, the thoughtfulness, and the playfulness to help that connection and that social emotional learning. Can we just kind of highlight each one of those pieces of it?
I would love to.
Great.
When I work with groups and train people to work with groups, the first thing we want to do is check in emotionally. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. But one of the things that is really hard for many kids is to even tune in to know how they're feeling. Sometimes it's even just to tune in. So I start with them being aware of things. So it might start out with, find something in the room that's blue, and they go look for something that's blue. Now find something that's shiny, and they'll look for something that's shiny. So now we're getting in the present moment. Then I have them close their eyes, and we do something called breathing fingers. And I have a poster right here of breathing fingers. So breathing fingers is a way to get kids to use their bodies as they become mindful. It's a meditation that's very simple. So basically, you hold your thumb with your index finger, and you take a breath, and then you switch to your middle finger, and you take another breath. You breathe in for 4, hold it for 2, and then out really slowly for 5, because breathing out more slowly activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which signals through the vagus nerve that everything is okay. My world is okay. And then, because I want them to, after we finish doing 1 or 2 rounds of the breathing fingers, if I feel like they're very low energy, we'll also do a stand-up breathing, which is really simple. I'm going to stand up for this. But we start down here, and what we do is we breathe in for 4 as we stand up and raise our hands over our head. And then we look up, and then we come down again. So here we go. Ready? So stand up. 2, 3, 4, look up at the sky and hold it. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. And we do a few rounds of that, and then we're ready for some cognitive awareness. The thoughtfulness.
Okay.
So for thoughtfulness, there's usually an activity every group, a different activity, but we keep reviewing them. And this one's a foundational activity. It's called Stand Tall. And TALL is an acronym for for think on purpose, act on purpose, look on purpose, and listen on purpose. And those things are, again, bringing the mindfulness into your life by being thoughtful about everything you do. How you think about things. Are these thoughts helping me, or are they bringing me down? Are they serving me? Are they serving my goals? Am I acting on purpose? Am I doing things that will have a good outcome? Is it being responsible? Am I looking on purpose? Am I taking in what's around me? What clues can I, use to be more productively social, to be a contributing person to a situation, to build it better? And
here's
then,
our perspective.
Yes, exactly.
And here's our ability to really focus on the connection with how our actions can impact others and ourselves, and like you said, the outcome. Very cool.
And then listening on purpose is the last one, and that's probably the most important one, because we listen with our own agenda in mind. We listen getting ready to speak. But if we can really listen, and I have a lot of exercises that teach listening skills, because that is the way that we bridge this divide between humans.
Nice.
That's how we connect, is by
Yes.
listening and caring.
And I think definitely knowing how this past year has been, we all want that connection.
Yeah.
And connection is a human desire. And it's a desire for everyone. And you probably have seen it too, like in the studies, is the number one predictor of success is connection.
Yes, and that's the improv exercise we're doing next. Yes,
Okay,
and.
great.
It is listening and building. And the improv exercise that we're going to play with today is yes and. It's the foundational exercise of improv. You listen and then you say yes. And even just saying those words makes me feel like, oh, something fun is coming. And so yes and, the basic exercise is I make a statement and then you affirm it and then add on to it. As you get to be familiar with improv, you don't have to say yes and each time. You just do that with the dialogue that you are saying.
We could practice one round.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Let's do that.
Cool.
Today is such a beautiful day.
Yes, and it's also high pollen. So some people are not too happy with today to go outside.
Yes, and boy, do our masks have double purposes now.
Absolutely.
So yes and is a very interesting skill that is the basis of a lot of different games. And one of the games is, I love that because, and we pretend we're a production design team and we're creating this amazing product. And what we assign to it does not have to follow laws of physics, and it doesn't have to be true or real. Really getting kids to feel their imagination and to break out of this idea of it's, this is the only thing that's possible. So we each add on a kind of wonderful feature to it, and we say, oh, I love that because, which is yes and. And so it teaches them to work in groups, be flexible, other perspectives, be positive, and it's just, kids have to work in groups in schools from, as soon as they walk in the door, when they're really little, until they graduate in college and beyond, at work. We don't teach kids how to work in groups. So being receptive and adding on and respecting each other and being flexible are so important.
Right.
And when you play a game to make that happen,
I know.
win-win.
We're learning and having fun. So you're involved in another really amazing project, which also ties into some of these social emotional challenges, which is an anti-bullying project.
Yes.
Could you kind of just touch base a little bit on that?
This is such an amazing program. Jill Nessie, who is a songwriter and producer, made the video that you're going to see, a little piece of, and it's to help kids identify with and to understand how mean behavior can really, really devastate people. And also how, and then there's a guide that I wrote to go with it along with some grad students from CCSU. And it helps kids to understand the difference between just kidding and hurtful behavior. It helps them become an upstander. It helps them learn the difference between aggressive, assertive, and passive behaviors. They get to learn about positive school climate and practice understanding, is my school fitting that bill? And if it's not, where can we improve, and how can I take action steps to help my school become better? And where are we succeeding? Let's celebrate the successes. So it's a pretty comprehensive program that was commissioned by the Connecticut Commission for Women, Children, Seniors, Equity, and Opportunity by Stephen Hernandez, who is the executive director. And he's so passionate about using the arts to change hearts.
That's awesome. Can we see a trailer of the video that you guys have created?
Let's watch.
Let's watch.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Lawrence, and I'll be singing a song. Good luck, Taylor Swift wannabe. You suck.
Lost and all alone.
Who are you?
It's me, Ian. The way Rhea treated you today, that was horrible.
That's every day for me.
I have something I want you to see.
The Rockville Talent Show's coming up.
A talent show? Well, you'll need all the help you can get, just not from me.
My mother would never speak to me that way.
You are not alone.
Bring on tomorrow.
Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. So. Bring it on, 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 bring it on
Bring on tomorrow. Bring on tomorrow.
That was wonderful.
The full length film is 25 minutes. It's available to all schools in Connecticut, along with a 50-page activity guide. There's one version for online and one version for in-person that covers relationships, empathy building, and friendships.
Awesome. I love how you're just creating this really powerful work that is impacting lives. So thank you, because it's so meaningful. And I also just wanted to share that you created something beautiful for us today.
Oh.
Could you share a poem that you wrote in honor of being here today?
Yes, I love the name of your show.
Thank you.
And I know that I personally had to overcome a lot of traumas in my life to get to a point where I can see the silver lining. And that's why I created these programs too, is because I don't want to have kids and adults suffer needlessly. If there are ways to really see the beauty in life, to overcome some of the negative programming that we've had, and we can do that. We can do that, and our children can do that. So here's the little
Absolutely.
poem that I wrote.
I'm so excited.
My mind recalls the dreamy days of childhood fields in carefree play that extended into starlit nights, flying bright-eyed hopes on moonbeam light. But too soon, stung by a host of fears, as I grew, so did my cares. But it's time that we hide no more from the dreams we seek and the play we cast away, because they're only a silver lining away.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, Dina. I
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Yes, and just if someone would like more information, how can they contact you?
They can contact me by writing to www.social-eyes.org. It's right here,
Great.
social-eyes.org. And I'll be happy to help them get the video and the guide and answer any questions that they might
Wonderful.
have.
And Robin, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show
Thank you.
and with us today. And on behalf of Lynn and Diane and myself, we wanted to thank you for watching today. And we want to leave you with the thought of always looking for the silver lining in your day.